Tonight, I want to speak to you about something you probably touched today without even thinking. Maybe you opened it at a store. Maybe you reached for it when you paid for food, for fuel, for a bill, for something your family needed. Maybe you placed it on a table, pushed it into your pocket, dropped it into a bag, or left it somewhere near your bed when the day was finally over. I am talking about your wallet. A simple thing, leather, cloth, plastic, old, new, full, almost empty. But in the old Jewish way of seeing life, ordinary things were never just ordinary. A table was not just a table. A doorpost was not just a doorpost. Bread was not just bread. A candle was not just fire. And a wallet, my friend, is not just a place where money sleeps. It is a vessel. It is a little house for your Parnassa. And tonight, I want to ask you a question that may feel strange at first. What does your wallet feel like when you open it? Not how much is inside, not how many cards, not how many receipts. I am asking something deeper. Does it feel peaceful? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel messy? Does it make your chest tighten? Does it whisper lack? Does it remind you of pressure? Does it carry gratitude, or does it carry fear? Because many people do not realize this. They are not only carrying money in their wallet, they are carrying memory, anxiety, shame, hope, unpaid bills, old receipts, moments of panic, small disappointments, silent prayers. And sometimes when a person opens the wallet, they are not only looking at money, they are looking at their own story. And tonight, gently, slowly, with respect, we are going to change the way that story is being told. There is an old teaching in many Jewish homes, a simple teaching, passed quietly from elder to younger, not shouted, not sold, not made into a spectacle. Never let your wallet rest empty through the night. Now listen carefully. This does not mean money will suddenly appear because you placed something inside your wallet. No, that is not wisdom. That is fantasy. And the Jewish path is not fantasy. It is responsibility. It is prayer. It is dignity. It is action. It is trust. This teaching is not about forcing heaven. It is about training the heart. Because an empty wallet left carelessly at night can begin to speak a message to the soul. I have nothing. I am without. I am empty. I am unsafe. And the soul listens. The heart listens. The mind listens. And little by little, a person begins to live from that message. They wake up already afraid. They spend already guilty. They receive already worried it will disappear. They give with fear. They hold with fear. They plan with fear. And fear, when it becomes the master of money, makes even a full wallet feel empty. Maybe you know this feeling. Maybe you work hard, very hard. You wake up before your body is ready. You carry responsibilities no one claps for. You pay what you can. You stretch what is left. You tell yourself, next month will be better. But then the month comes, and the bills come with it. The rent, the loan, the groceries, the school fees, the medicine, the emergency that was not invited but still knocked on the door. And before you can breathe, the money is gone. Not wasted, not thrown away, just gone. And then that old voice begins again. What is wrong with me? Why can I never get ahead? Why does money come to me only to leave me? Maybe this is just my life. My friend, hear me with both ears. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not less worthy of blessing than anyone else. Financial pressure is real. It is heavy. It can make a good person feel small. It can make a faithful person feel ashamed. It can make a strong person sit quietly in the dark and wonder how much longer they can keep smiling. So we do not begin this teaching with blame. We begin with compassion. Because before a person can heal their relationship with money, they must stop hating themselves for struggling. The wallet practice I will share tonight begins with this truth. Your circumstances may be difficult, but you do not have to let fear become your identity. In Jewish tradition, there is a word for livelihood, provision, sustenance, and the flow that supports a person's life. Parnassa. It is a beautiful word. Parnassa is not only coins and bills. It is not only salary. It is not only business. Parnassa is the way life is sustained, the work of your hands, the food on the table, the strength to continue, the opportunity that comes at the right moment, the help that arrives quietly, the wisdom to manage what you have, the peace to not be destroyed by what you do not yet have. Parnassa is not only what enters your wallet, it is also what enters your heart. The sages understood that money is spiritual because money touches almost everything. It touches dignity. It touches fear. It touches marriage. It touches children. It touches generosity. It touches patience. It touches faith. A person can pray beautifully and still panic every time a bill arrives. A person can believe in blessing and still speak curses over their own provision every day. I am always broke. Money never stays with me. I will never have enough. Nothing works for me. These sentences feel innocent when we are tired. But words are seeds, and if a person plants the same seed every day, one day they will find themselves living under the tree. So the old Jewish way does not only tell us to think differently, it gives us an action, a small action, because the hand can teach the heart, the object can teach the soul. The wallet can become a reminder. This is why the practice begins with not letting the wallet rest empty, even if it is one small bill, even if it is one coin, even if it is a small folded note with a Hebrew word of blessing. The point is not the amount. The point is the message. This vessel is not empty. This home of Parnassa is still prepared. I may be in a difficult season, but I am not without hope. I still have something to hold, something to give, something to bless. Now I want to tell you a story. There was a man named Eliyahu. He was not a rich man. He was not a lazy man either. He was a working man, the kind of man who woke before sunrise and came home after his strength was almost gone. He loved his family. He paid what he could. He tried to do the right thing. But always, he felt one step behind. Not ruined, not desperate in a way people could see from the outside, just tired. The quiet kind of tired. The kind of tired where you look at the price before you look at the thing. The kind of tired where you pretend you are not hungry because you want someone else in the house to eat first. The kind of tired where you check your wallet before saying yes to anything. And slowly, without noticing, Eliyahu began to live like a man waiting for loss. Even when good things happened, he could not enjoy them. Even when money came in, he immediately imagined it leaving. Even when someone helped him, he felt embarrassed instead of grateful. One evening, after a difficult week, Eliyahu went to visit his uncle. His uncle was an older man with kind eyes and a slow way of speaking. His home was small but peaceful. There were books on the shelves, a kettle always warm, and near the window sat a little tzedakah box, worn from years of use. Eliyahu sat at the table, and for a while he said nothing. His uncle did not rush him. That is wisdom. A young person often rushes to speak. An elder knows that sometimes pain needs silence before it can find words. Finally, Eliyahu began. He spoke about the bills, about the pressure, about how money seemed to pass through his hands like water, about how tired he was of trying to be strong. His uncle listened. He poured tea. He pushed the cup gently toward him. Then, after a long pause, he asked a strange question. Eliyahu, what is in your wallet right now? Eliyahu almost laughed. My wallet? Almost nothing. Some old receipts, maybe one small bill, maybe not even that. His uncle nodded. And tonight, when you sleep, what will your wallet hold?" Eliyahu shrugged. "The same? Almost nothing?" His uncle looked at him kindly and said, "Then tonight your wallet will sleep with the language of lack." Eliyahu looked up. His uncle continued, "A vessel should not declare itself empty. Even in a hard season, it should hold a sign of readiness, a sign of gratitude, a sign that provision has not ended, even if it is moving slowly." Then the old man stood up and walked to a small wooden box on the shelf. He opened it and took out a small, clean bill. It was not a large amount, not enough to solve anything, not enough to impress anyone, but it was neat, folded carefully, treated with respect. He placed it in Eliyahu's hand. "This," he said, "is not for spending. This is your guardian bill. Place it in your wallet tonight. Keep it separate. And when you place it there, say thank you. Not because everything is easy, not because everything is solved, but because gratitude is how the soul refuses to become a slave to lack." Eliyahu held the bill. Part of him wanted to dismiss it. How could such a small thing matter? He needed more work, he needed help, he needed answers. But another part of him, the tired part, the honest part, was willing to try something gentle. That night when he came home, the house was quiet. He sat on the edge of his bed and opened his wallet. He looked at it, maybe truly looked at it for the first time. There were old receipts, bent cards, a folded paper he no longer needed, and the tired feeling he had carried for months. He cleaned it slowly, not perfectly, just slowly. Then he took the small bill his uncle gave him and placed it in a separate part of the wallet. He held the wallet in both hands. At first no words came. Then, softly, almost awkwardly, he said, "Thank you for what I have. Teach me to receive with wisdom. Teach me to give with an open hand. Let my home not be ruled by fear." That was all. No thunder, no miracle, no sudden knock at the door. He closed the wallet and placed it on his dresser instead of tossing it beside the bed. The next morning, the bills were still there. His problems had not disappeared. But something was different. He noticed the difference in himself first. He opened the wallet and, instead of feeling only shame, he saw the guardian bill, and it reminded him, "I am not empty. I am in process." That sentence became important to him. I am in process, not finished, not forgotten, not defeated. In process. Over the next days, Eliyahu began to change small things. He stopped stuffing old receipts into his wallet. He began to write down what he spent, not with fear, but with attention. He placed a small coin in the tzedakah box each week, even when it was very small, because he wanted his hands to remember how to give. And slowly, his inner world shifted. He did not become wealthy overnight. That is not the story. The story is better than that. He became less afraid. And when fear became quieter, wisdom became louder. He noticed opportunities. He asked better questions. He spoke with more dignity. He stopped saying, "I am always broke," and began saying, "I am learning to care for my Parnassa." And when a person changes the sentence they live under, their path begins to change with it. This is the deeper teaching. The wallet is not magic. The bill is not magic. The note is not magic. But the human soul is shaped by repeated actions. And a repeated action, done with humility and intention, becomes a doorway. Now let us open the teaching in 3 parts. The first key is presence. Most people do not look at their wallet with peace. They either check it with anxiety or avoid it completely. Some people open their wallet 10 times a day, not because they need something, but because fear keeps asking for proof. Others avoid opening it until they must, because they do not want to feel the shame inside. Both are painful. Both are forms of disconnection. Presence means you stop running. You open the wallet and you look honestly. Not with hatred, not with panic, not with judgment. with presence. You say, "This is where I am. This is what I have. This is what needs order. This is what needs care." In Jewish life, attention is sacred. A blessing is really a way of paying attention. When we bless bread, we stop eating like animals and begin receiving like human beings. When we bless wine, we stop drinking casually and begin remembering joy. When we light candles, we stop the rush of the week and let peace enter the room. So when you hold your wallet with presence, you are bringing blessing into a place where fear used to rule. You cannot heal what you refuse to face, but you also cannot heal what you attack. So look gently. That is the first key. The second key is the guardian. In some Jewish homes, people kept something in the wallet that was not meant to be spent. A coin, a small bill, a folded piece of paper with a word from Hebrew, a verse from Tehillim, the Psalms, a blessing note, not as superstition, as shmirah, a reminder of protection, watchfulness, and dignity. The guardian says, "This wallet is not empty. This vessel is prepared." It does not deny reality. It does not pretend struggle is not real. It simply refuses to let lack have the final word. This is important, because many people carry an empty wallet and then carry an empty feeling. The guardian interrupts that. Every time you open the wallet, you see it, and it whispers, "There is still something here. There is still a seed. There is still a sign. There is still a place for blessing to rest." The third key is the closing blessing. In Jewish life, we do not let the day simply collapse into darkness. We close things with intention. There is evening prayer. There are bedtime words. There is the Shema. There is the quiet act of placing the soul back into the hands of the one who gave it. So why should your financial fear be left open all night? Why should your wallet sit in the dark carrying the whole day's anxiety? Before you sleep, close the matter with blessing. Not with drama, not with begging, not with a demand, with humility. Hold the wallet and say, "I have done what I can today. I release fear from this vessel. Let my Parnassa be guided with wisdom. Let my hands give. Let my home receive what is right and good." This closing blessing teaches your body that money is not your God. Money is a tool. Provision is a gift. Wisdom is a responsibility. And fear is not the master of your house. Now I will give you the practice. Tonight, before you sleep, find a quiet moment. Do not do it while rushing. Do not do it while angry. Wait until the room is calm. Take your wallet in your hands. Open it. Look inside. Remove what does not belong. Old receipts that carry stress. Expired cards. Little papers that no longer serve you. Things that make the wallet feel cluttered and heavy. Do this slowly. Do it like you are preparing a small vessel. Then find one bill, any bill. The smallest is enough. If you do not have a bill, use a coin. If you have neither, take a small piece of paper and write one word on it. Parnassa. Or write this simple sentence. This home is open to blessing. Fold it neatly. Place it in a special part of your wallet, not mixed with spending money, not thrown in carelessly, placed with dignity. This is your guardian. It stays there. Now hold the wallet in both hands. Feel its weight. Even if it feels light, hold it with respect. Then say these words slowly. My wallet is not empty. My life is not without provision. I receive with gratitude. I give with wisdom. My hands are open. My heart is steady. My home is ready for peace. My Parnassa moves in the right way at the right time. If those words feel too big, say them softly. If your faith feels small, bring the small faith you have. A small candle still gives light. A small prayer can still be honest. Then close the wallet. Place it somewhere elevated tonight, not on the floor, not under clutter, not tossed aside like something meaningless. Place it on a dresser, a shelf, a table, somewhere clean. Let the object teach your mind. My provision deserves respect. My fear does not get to throw this around. My wallet is a vessel, and I will treat it like one. Do this for 7 nights. Each night, hold the wallet. Each night, speak a blessing. Each night, let the guardian remain. And if you can, place 1 coin aside for tzedakah during these 7 days. Give it quietly. No one needs to know. Put it in a charity box. Help someone. Give in a way that is responsible for your situation. The amount is not the point. The opening of the hand is the point. Because receiving without giving can make the soul narrow, but giving, even a little, reminds the soul that it is alive. After 7 nights, do not ask only, "Did money come?" Ask a wiser question. Did I change? Did I become calmer when I opened my wallet? Did I stop avoiding my money? Did I clear the old clutter? Did I speak with less fear? Did I remember gratitude? Did I give something, even small? Did I begin to feel like a steward instead of a victim? These are holy changes. Do not despise them. A calm person makes better choices. A grateful person sees more clearly. A generous person does not become trapped inside panic. And a person who respects small provision becomes more prepared to care for larger provision if and when it comes. Now, wherever you are, take a breath and say this with me if you can. I am not defined by what I lack. I am learning to hold, to give, and to trust. My wallet is not empty of meaning. My home is ready for peace. My Parnassa is guided with wisdom. I am open to what is right for me. Say it again tonight, not as a spell, as a prayer, not as a demand, as a return. And before I close, I want to speak with honesty. Your wallet is not a magic object. A bill placed inside it does not guarantee money. A Hebrew word on paper does not force blessing to obey you. No true teacher should promise such things. The Holy One is not manipulated by rituals, and wisdom is not a machine where you press a button and receive an instant reward. This practice is about alignment. It is about bringing order where there was clutter, gratitude where there was shame, presence where there was avoidance, giving where there was fear, blessing where there was panic. The object is only the reminder. The real work happens in the heart. But do not underestimate reminders. A mezuzah is small, but it changes the way a Jewish home is entered. A candle flame is small, but it changes the feeling of a room. A coin is small, but it can teach the hand to open. A wallet is small, but it can become a daily place of awareness. And maybe that is what you need tonight. Not someone shouting that money will come instantly. Not someone promising things no human being can promise. But a quiet practice. A gentle reset. A way to stop putting your wallet to sleep with fear inside it. A way to tell your heart, we are not empty. We are learning. We are preparing. We are trusting, one step at a time. If this teaching touched something in you, write these words in the comments. My wallet is blessed. Write it slowly. Write it as a seed. Write it not because everything is already perfect, but because you are choosing to stop speaking only from lack. Sometimes a person begins a new chapter by writing one new sentence. And if you want to continue learning these ancient Jewish teachings about Parnassa, tzedakah, blessing, and the hidden wisdom inside ordinary objects, then stay close to this channel. Subscribe, not as a transaction, but as a way of walking this path with us. Here we take simple things seriously. A wallet, a coin, a candle, a table, a door, a grain of salt. Because sometimes the Holy One teaches through the things we touch every day. And in the next teaching, I want to share something many people have forgotten. Why salt was treated with such care in old Jewish homes. Why it sat on the table. Why it was connected with covenant, protection, preservation, and the blessing of the household. You may have salt in your kitchen right now. You may have passed it many times without thinking, but when you understand the old teaching behind it, you may never look at it the same way again. Until then, shalom. May your wallet never rest in fear. May your hands find something to give. May your heart become steady. May your home be filled with peace. And may your Parnassa come in the right way, at the right time, with wisdom, dignity, and blessing.